Hello, I'm Keith Haywood, bringing you a midweek message on behalf of St Anne's Church, Chasetown, for Wednesday, the 5th of August. There are quite a lot of days throughout the year where the church commemorates certain significant events in the Christian calendar. The three most prominent ones being Christmas, Easter and Pentecost. But there are also many others. And one such day takes place tomorrow, August the 6th, when the church commemorates the Transfiguration of Jesus. Translated literally, the word transfiguration means a complete change of form or appearance. And in the account of the Transfiguration story, as recorded in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark and Luke, we read that Jesus and three of his disciples, Peter, James and John, go up a mountain to pray. And while they were praying, the appearance of Jesus begins to change as he begins to shine with bright rays of light. We actually read that the appearance of his face changed and his clothes became dazzling white. His whole being literally shone with the glory of God. And while Peter, James and John were watching this in awe and amazement, a cloud came and overshadowed them all, and they were terrified as they entered the cloud. Then from the cloud came a voice which said, "This is my Son, my chosen one. Listen to him." Now, I don't know whether you've ever been up a mountain when the cloud has suddenly come down, but it really can be quite daunting and scary. I recall some years ago taking a holiday with my wider family in Scotland. Whilst there, my three sons and I decided to climb the big one, Ben Nevis, the highest mountain in Great Britain. All 4,413 feet of it. Estimating the round trip would take us about 8 hours, we set off at 6 a.m. for the 2-hour drive to the base of the mountain to start our ascent. It was a glorious sunny day as we started to climb, and the views were stunning. However, as the morning progressed and the higher we climbed, the weather worsened. The thick mist which had descended quite quickly turned to rain as the clouds lowered themselves to surround us. And it wasn't too long before we were straining to see the well-worn path beneath our feet. By the time we reached the top, we were straining to see anything or anyone in front of us. The cloud was so thick we weren't even able to take a photograph to mark the occasion. So quickly turning round, we started to make our descent. And as we did so, the closer we got to the base of the mountain, the brighter the weather became. And by the time we were at the bottom, once again, the sun was shining gloriously. Now, clouds can often be quite depressing, can't they? Especially when they're about to spoil a lovely sunny day. We look at the sky and wonder whether that big black one is coming our way to block out the sun. For 20 weeks now, the cloud of coronavirus pandemic has loomed large over us. That's almost half a year. For many, it's been quite a depressing time to live through, and there's just no sign of the cloud lifting in the foreseeable future. And we could be forgiven for asking the question, where's God in all this? Well, I think in order to find an answer to that question, we need to look into the cloud. Because when we consider where clouds are mentioned in the Bible, very often we find a very different picture from the bleakness we often associate with clouds, because God is found in the cloud. For instance, when Moses went up a mountain to receive the 10 Commandments, he met God in a cloud. As the people of Israel journeyed through the desert towards the promised land, it was a cloud that guided their journey each day. At the dedication of the temple after Solomon had built it, it was a cloud symbolizing God's presence that occupied it. At the Transfiguration, God was heard speaking through a cloud. And when Jesus ascended into heaven, it was a cloud that came down to receive him. In the book of Revelation, we're told that when Jesus returns, he will come with the clouds. In the course of our lives, it's inevitable we'll encounter dark moments when we feel that we're walking through a cloud. And in those times, we may ask, where is God? Well, I believe that the answer is that he's right there in those clouds that can encompass us and lower our spirits. In those times, may I encourage you not to despair, but to call upon God. The chances are that you'll find him right beside you in the cloud. A prayer. Loving Lord, when the clouds of life come my way, help me not to despair, but to remember that through faith I can meet with you, knowing that you are in that cloud. Amen.